Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make a breakfast pizza. Now, it's just kind of like a bacon and egg pizza. It's so good. I'm calling it breakfast pizza because it's got bacon and eggs, but truth be told, I don't think I've ever made this for breakfast. It's actually a really great lunch option for the weekend or a really fun and exciting twist on pizza night. If any of you do pizza night during the week, like a lot of family do, I don't do it every week, but I like to on Thursday nights to do like a pizza night. This is such a great alternative. It's so fun, and aside from eggs and bacon, you can add whatever little bits and pieces of leftovers you have in the fridge to this, and it's amazing. I'll show you kind of what I have on hand, but really you just need the method and everything else will be just fine. The ingredients you'll need are actually not very many. You need some bacon, of course. What I have here are some slices of bacon that I just had cooked already and crumbled. You can see they're just in like little bite-sized pieces. I got lots of shredded mozz, Parmigiano Reggiano. What I have here are some leftover sauteed spinach. You just want to make sure that if you're using spinach, you want to squeeze out any excess liquid. You can use any veggie you like or none at all. And I also had some beautiful cherry tomatoes, actually grape tomatoes, so I'm using some of those. I've got some pizza seasoning. I also need some eggs, of course, and you need some pizza dough. You can do one or two things when it comes to pizza dough. You can make it homemade. I've got a killer recipe on my website, or you can go to your favorite local pizza shop and ask them if you can buy a ball of pizza dough. They'll happily serve you, or a lot of supermarkets now actually sell homemade pizza dough for like $1.50, which is fantastic when you don't have time to make it yourself. I already have a 1 pound ball of pizza dough here ready for me, and I'm thrilled to do this because I love pizza and I love anything bacon and eggs. I've got my oven preheated to 500. I want it really, really hot, and now I'm ready to rock and roll. I also have a pizza stone in there. I've got a floured surface. You can see you want a little bit of flour, but not too much. And I've showed you how to make pizza and roll out pizza dough before, but I'll give you a little demo. What you do is with the tips of your fingers, mainly with your 3 fingers, you kind of just flatten it. You want to just flatten it until it's all even. Then you take your index finger and your middle finger, and all you do to create a border, you take this hand, right, is you kind of just pinch and move it as you go. If you feel like it's sticky, dip your fingers in some flour, but you see you're creating a border, and this hand is helping you keep it steady. So once you do that and you have your border made, then you go in there, you flatten the center, and then with the side of your hand, you use that border to help you keep it in its shape. You don't have to do this by hand. Do it with a rolling pin. It's just fine. So once you get it to a nice even thickness, you can see I'm doing it like that. You can pick it up, and then using your hands like fist, like you're Rocky, you know, from Philly, Rocky Balboa, you just gently stretch. You don't want to do it too quickly because you'll put holes in it. I'm going to continue to do this until it's about I'm going to say 11 to 12 inch circle. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. All right, once you've got your circle, again, you're looking for like a 10 to 11 inch, maybe 12 inch circle. I like to use a pizza peel. If you don't have a pizza peel, take a really large baking sheet, flip it upside down, dust it with flour, and it works just as well. Now I have that ready, and now I can just kind of proceed and make my pizza. I need some cheese as my base. Now remember to keep a border because you want that crust, you know, and you can use whatever cheese you want. One of the beautiful things about pizza is that you can really be super, super creative. I've had pizza with kimchi on it, and it was one of the most amazing things I've ever had in my life. And it's not like a topping I would necessarily like gravitate towards, but the beauty about pizza is you can do whatever your heart desires, and it's just so good every time. All right, I've got my mozz. Now I'm going to put on my bacon. You can put as much or as little bacon as you want. You could do turkey bacon, regular bacon, whatever bacon you want. You can also do breakfast sausage, leftover cooked sausage. I mean, please, the world is your pickle, my friend. Use whatever you have on hand. Use whatever you got. That's the beauty about cooking all the time. Okay, now that you have your bacon, you don't have to do this in this order, by the way. Just my thing, you know. Then I like to have my spinach. You can do zucchini, Brussels sprouts, whatever. You don't have to do a veg at all. But I do quite like a little bit of green. I might not use all of the spinach. You never know. I don't want to make my pizza super soggy. Okay, and then, oh, how gorgeous does that look already? I love that. It's like I'm my own little artiste over here. And then I've got some cherry tomatoes. I am not adding any salt to this at this point. I will salt my eggs a little bit when it's time for them. I'm not adding any salt at this point because the bacon and the cheese are quite salty, so I don't need to add any additional salt. Oven's nice and hot. My pizza stone in there, it's been preheating with my oven. I've got a few cherry tomatoes. I like to put them top side, cut side up. Doesn't really matter. Like that. And then you need your pizza seasoning. All this is oregano, garlic, hot pepper flakes, onion, all those beautiful flavors that you traditionally will eat on pizza. Like that. A little goes a long way because this is quite spicy. I'm making my own and I add a ton of hot pepper flakes. And then a good grating of parm over the whole thing. And now I'm just going to pop this into the oven for about 6 to 7 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. Sometimes it takes a little bit less, so a little bit more. But I'll show you what we're looking for. Now this was in for 7 minutes. I just took it out. You can see it's not fully cooked yet, so I'm going to add my eggs on now. And now for one about this size, I would say about 4 eggs will be perfect. And you want the whites to kind of ooze everywhere, so don't panic. Now, how long this goes back for or how long your eggs need to cook for, it's total preference. Some people do not like a runny yolk at all. So if that's the case, you want to cook it for another 6 or 7 minutes. If you like a really runny yolk, put it back in for like 4 minutes and it should do the trick. It's completely up to you. I will not show you a runny yolk because I know that some people really dislike that, so I'm going to be respectful. I just put it back in until the yolks are set, which should be another 5 to 6 minutes or so. Then I'll show you what this looks like when it is done. All right, so my pizza went back in with the eggs on for about 7 minutes until the eggs were completely set. I checked it at 4 minutes exactly and the eggs were really nice and runny. So if you like a runny egg, then you'd want to take it out after 4 minutes. The crust itself doesn't darken that much by leaving it in for 3 minutes longer, so don't worry about that because as you can see, it looks gorgeous. But for me, once I put the eggs on, it went back in for about 7 minutes until the yolks were set. If you want to, you can make little wells right here, right here, right here, and right here for the eggs to be perfectly like on the perimeter of the pizza. But to me, it doesn't make any difference, especially when I'm going to just dive right into it. And I want the eggs to kind of break up. But like I said, today, they're not going to be super runny or anything. They'll be slightly runny, because I do like a slightly runny egg. But nothing too crazy, so don't worry about that. See? Oh, see? It's not so runny, so don't worry about that. If you like it even cooked even more, then by all means leave it in there for another minute. But my mouth is salivating, so I just must. So that is so good. Also, once it came out of the oven, I just hit the tops of the eggs with a little bit of salt and pepper, as you can see, just to flavor the eggs themselves. This is phenomenal, and it would be such a rock star on your weekend brunch or a really fun night dinner. It's just fabulous. And who doesn't love bacon and eggs? I love bacon and eggs. Usually not for breakfast, more for lunch and dinner, but hey, who's judging? Go to LauraInTheKitchen.com to get the written recipe. I'm gonna dive in. Hope you enjoy spending time with me. Can't talk. I'll see you next time. Bye.